I'm Jeff Jackson with Algonquin Fly Fishing Premium Guide Service here in the Ottawa Valley in Algonquin Park, where we do guided fly fishing trips, with another one of our guide reviews of the gear that we use. Here we have the Yeti Load Out gearbox, a waterproof, indestructible case. Like everything Yeti does, it's overbuilt, and in this case, it makes perfect sense. Why would anybody pay so much money for a dry box? They are expensive. Look around, you'll find other dry boxes, and they're expensive too if you want them to really be waterproof. So this goes in my drift boat 5 days a week all summer long, and it carries everything that I need for a day. It's got, I'll show you my flies and my gear in here. Um, Here's what I used to carry: a soft bag, a soft gear bag. However, with climate change and weather's different now, we get these torrential downpours, which just dump an inch of water into the bottom of the boat in 20 minutes. And my bag was always getting wet, which means coming home at night, emptying my fly boxes, all my tools, drying this bag, packing it up the next morning and taking it out again, and maybe it gets wet again. This is dry. There's no way this is going to get wet. So it's absolutely sealed tight. So it's got two burley seals, and it's a gearbox. It's not set up specifically for fly fishing, but it works perfectly fine for fly fishing. In this case, all my soft stuff, so tippets, spools, extra leaders. This all here is all the flies, and I carry flies in bulk whenever I'm doing these gigs. And then room for tools, right? So this is all like tools, and then underneath tools lands in here is first aid stuff, some other odds and ends, bug spray, etc. So what really works here is that it's absolutely 100% sealed. Whenever it locks down, it's done. It sits like this unlocked during the day. You can flip it up and get in there and get out of there really easily. But if you need to actually, and you can rain on top of that, and it's not going to get wet. And as soon as you move it, you're just going to flip those and lock them down. This is the 30 size. It comes in a 15. It comes maybe camera size, and it comes in a 60, which is really too big for any use, and it would barely fit inside a drift boat. What we've got here, so I like everything about it. But you can see I actually glued a fly patch on the top here, make it a little more usable. I've refused to put something wet into something dry. So this is a dry box, so my wet flies don't go in there, they go on here. So that's just glued on top. It is missing, in my mind, attachment points. So you can see what I've done here. It's got lock holes on the sides so you can lock this thing closed for security purposes. I put a thin cord through there so I can attach my nippers onto that. But I want my nippers out and available. I don't want to have to flip a lid to get to nippers. So that's a little bit of a rig that's not that great. And you can see my pliers on a tether here. I had to actually zip tie that holster onto one of the strap compartments there. So this can be strapped down. So there's a way to put a strap to the lid. I use that to put this on. So what would make this thing better is if it had a few more accessible attachment positions on the outside. But I'm okay with it the way that this works right now. Expensive, yes. Dry, absolutely. Then you ask the question, what is your dry gear worth to you? I've got, well, this box is probably about $300. I've got $500 worth of flies in here, and I've got $200 worth of tools in here, and I've got first aid supplies, none of which can get wet. So this makes perfect sense to me. Check out our other guide reviews of the gear that we use here on our Algonquin Fly Fishing channel.